up it's magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, daylight lights, camera action. Living in a dream, now my music they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. It's magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality.
Coach, thank you. We are over 4,000 miles away from where you're seated in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England, and Wembley Stadium. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one between the Houston Texans and our home team. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Watson into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And the Texans, 1st down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Check 43. Put it down.
Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
This is it. 18. Check tight. Check. 124. Mike, 44. Alert. Both of Mike.
From the 50, it's Watson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Calais Campbell in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. You know, last week it was unbelievable how many times they were in the backfield. They had 7 sacks. Whatever they had for pregame meal last week, maybe they had it again.
I think they're going to continue to repeat it if they keep this up. But remember, we were at their facility, and we walked past the defensive meeting room, and what did it say over the door? Rush the passer. It's a philosophy. It's a statement. That's who they want to be, and they've been very successful with it.
Yeah, an opening drive sack. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Now Foles. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, an 80-yard touchdown. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 180. Watch the run, watch the run. Watch the run. 1-1. Here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll rifle this one deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Watson. Flush to his right. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That good for 22 and a first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Elliott. Give him 4 on the carry there, but that only takes him back to where they started. 3rd and 10. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. No one attempted or made more field goals in Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They go with Leonard Fournette, 3rd-year back from LSU. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
What we got? Hey, sound one.
Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. To throw is Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. That's the #2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be #2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be #1.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins once again the intended target, and it's 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. From the pistol, here's Elliott. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. On 3rd down, Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Watson on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play? And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 12-yard line. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. Calais Campbell on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson, this time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
He's got a man, complete. That one good for 37 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Texans scoop it. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, and when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. You've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 28-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now it's Watson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for, and it's 3rd and short.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll try and run forward with Elliott. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
They would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Back to throw, Watson, and that will be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning them into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reaction to those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Now left side on the swing pass. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Watson now to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but Only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Here's Elliott. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time.
Let's go. Let's do it.
First and 10 at their own 5-yard line.
I'll get you another INT right here. Get it? Run me back.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit. In trouble in the ball. Oh, that is going to be a safety. Well, obviously, that is declined, and the result is a safety.
And what a momentum play that is, right? You never want to see a safety wiped out. You get the points, and you're going to get the ball back.
This is brought in at the 21. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Here we go, G. Relax. Here I come again.
A final shot before the break. Watson looking here for Smith. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So instead of trailing into the lockers, they grabbed the lead with the clock reading all zeros before intermission.
I would love to go into the locker room with them because right now they're riding a nice wave, aren't they? They're feeling good about themselves. But I know the coach is going to be talking to them about calming down, taking it easy. We've got a whole second half, but use the way we finished the first one to start the second.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, as they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone. And that ball is caught by DJ Chark for the Jags touchdown. DJ Chark with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board. The ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have once again taken the lead. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A two-play drive.
What did we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch.
Here we go. Here we go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the third quarter. Now they relinquish that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right? Where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
They'll give it back to Armstead. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think your contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
Check. Here we go. 44, Mike, 44. You must be dreaming.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
He got that one off
timeout. Defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out, and he is going to need to bomb this one. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Foles. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to it? Maybe his rhythm is just off. He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. And that only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
They go to Elliott again. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to regain the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
This will be fielded at the 6. A beautiful fake. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This is taken at the 10. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Foles. Over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. It's a gain of 20 as we wind down near 20 seconds left in the quarter. Foles now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Going with Armstead, a 1st down carry. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. He finds his target, Fuller. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A 14-yard 1st down pickup for the Jaguars. Foles now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Now Foles. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the 1st down run. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They'll stay with the run and Armstead. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. 30. Past the 20. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TV. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, And the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this route.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to... man, it's caught inside the 10. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster, and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out ahead away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch your slap. Watch your slap.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
On 3rd down, it's Elliott. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Keep going to him,
intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Watch it. Watch it. I can record. Check. I can record. 44.
Here's Watson.
Oh, you got to make that.
Intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far.
Okay.
Fielded at the 33.
See, West.
We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Angelo Blackson in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
On play action, they'll throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Texans defense stands tall. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
No, you can play a player, put on 2 clocks, huh?
What is that? 19! Wildman! Rush in! Rush in! Rush in!
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. So, going to